Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Zin and I have been playing Star Citizen Alpha 3.17.2 on the latest hotfix patch, and there are some things which drive me absolutely crazy about Star Citizen that make my blood boil. And I just wanted to sort of talk about those things that I don't like, because maybe it's the same things that you don't like, maybe it's not. Maybe you're like, I don't have any of these problems, or maybe you have problems that are of a much wider scope. I just thought it was an interesting sort of thing. Now, I know a lot of people are grumpy about the A2 bomber at sort of Jumptown. I'm not so much. I see the points of view there. I like the discussions that go on there as long as they're civil. I think it's sort of important to bring that sort of stuff to the table. Light combat fighter meta. The problems with certain ships just dominating others. Again, I don't really mind about too much because I don't do much PvP. I'm talking about more general accessibility to the game and trying to get footage or trying to do more basic things. I understand the points there. I understand the balance versus progress. And obviously some people just don't want to be entirely dominated by a light fighter when maybe that shouldn't be the current meta. And obviously things like the Blade, which have now since been patched, shouldn't be almost invulnerable. So those sort of things, not really something that really annoys me about Star Citizen, because you're looking at gameplay there, which is it would be really fun if this was working as intended and that sort of stuff. I'm more sort of, if it's entirely game breaking, if it prevents you from getting to gameplay, like elevators used to be. Still some elevator problems, admittedly, but much less in the way of elevator problems. Let's sort of talk about this, but I'm really interested for you to share your opinions on what you like and dislike about Star Citizen in the comments, sort of as you listen to this video. And you are going to have very different issues and very different sort of focuses than I will. So obviously it takes quite a long time to prep anything in Star Citizen. It's like a 15-minute journey or so to gear your character up from a landing zone, get to your ship, choose all the equipment that you want, get on board your ship, make sure you've got the equipment on board, and then sort of prep for whatever mission you want to do. And typically you'll probably want to go from a planet to a space station, make sure that space station has sort of items on that you've brought from the planet's surface, so that you've got something quick to grab if you do die, and then set your sort of respawn point at a nearby space station. Bam. Yeah, sort of, it takes a while. Logistics is a thing in Star Citizen, and that might be part of the immersion for some people, but when I've done it for the 1000th time, because things keep on getting reset, or item locations get reset or whatever, it can be quite frustrating. Obviously it's an alpha, I absolutely love it. I love Star Citizen. I know I'm playing it for the testing, but I'm sort of complaining for the sake of complaining, and it is annoying. Sort of, you look for how many hours you played in a month. Oh, I played 3 dozen hours, but half of that time, at least half of that time, was just prepping for things. So it adds to the immersion for sure, and obviously it will be a lot better once we have less in the form of server restarts, or even persistent entity streaming could permanently save the location of our items, and they could recover that. So maybe we don't have to have database resets in the same way anymore. And obviously when the game's released, it's not an issue at all, although you will have to spend some time getting items in the places that you want, at least first, or potentially you could get stuff delivered. That's one of the things that I'm really hoping to see in the future, that I can just straight up buy something from a shop and have it delivered elsewhere to another space station or whatever, or maybe have stuff from nearby shops and stations that I'm not actually at delivered to me at an extra fee, or even pay sort of players or NPCs to deliver stuff to me, or even bring my ships to me, things like that. Just that sort of more robust economy, and yeah, I can pay people for them using their time rather than me using mine. But yeah, the level of faff is a big issue if you want to get straight into the gameplay of the Star Citizen, for sure. I think some people absolutely love it. Then there's the problem of, obviously, if you have a bug or a problem or a crash or something, that can cause you to lose a load of progress, because, well, now you need to re-gear your character again and go out and get your stuff and whatever. Typically, if you don't have any bugs or problems, and you don't get just sort of sucker punched to be killed, then you're going to have quite a good time in Star Citizen. Now, I enjoy a load of the missions. Elevators especially are more fixed than they have been previously. I think there's problems with the Grim Hex hospital area at the moment, so I have not ventured there. Something I really didn't like, though, was me and Zin have been trying to get some footage with a mixture of medical rescue gameplay and sort of new gameplay on New Babbage, Microtech, where we're looking at some of the Reclaimer missions, some of the derelict outposts, stuff like that. And so we've been doing a mixture of missions that we find there, including like box missions, delivery missions. If there is a storm on Microtech, there is often zero visibility. Yeah? Potentially less than zero visibility. It confuses me where the floor is. I don't even know if I'm upside down in my ship sometimes. I get very, very confused. And I don't think it's just me. I think there's a lot of people. It's hellish. Like, I'm entirely blind. If it's dark as well, it doesn't matter if it's dark or light. It's just hell. In a big storm with like the fog, you just can't see a thing. And if you're out of your ship and you're trying to fight NPCs on foot, they can see you, you can't see them, and the sound is a bit distorted because you're sort of in a storm, so they just have a massive advantage. It didn't used to be a problem when the NPCs were entirely sort of muted and were inactive, but now that they actually shoot you, it is a problem, and it has me typically trying to rescue Zin from getting shot, because I'll run in and panic and sort of heal her up and run off before the NPCs have a chance to lock on to me, as it were. But that's sort of like one of the more annoying problems. No visibility in storms. NPCs can see you when you can't see them. And getting blown everywhere as well. In a storm, I will jump out of my ship and go, I regret that, because I'll just get blown to the floor or moved a mile. Also, doing box missions, doing delivery missions. Sometimes those boxes, they're a bit tricksy. They don't want to be where you dropped them. They'll just reattach themselves to your hand. They'll suddenly go, no, I'm going to rubber band you back to here. That mixed together, not being able to see NPCs that are shooting at me, and not being able to see full stop, and boxes sort of hating me, make those delivery missions in hostile areas just, like a fresh hell. That said, in the daylight, when there's no storm, actually pretty good fun. My frame rate in the latest 3.17.2 patch, absolutely fantastic. The stability, no crashes, absolutely fantastic. Really, really liked that. I'm able to play quite long sessions, hours and hours, without any forms of crashes now. My frame rates and performance look great. You can see by a load of my footage that's pretty good. Zin's got a little bit of a lesser PC, but hers is pretty good too. Oh, I know what I really hate. No weapon shops on some of the stations. So you're like a Port Tressler, and you're like, I've died, just respawned here. I haven't got a pistol. I haven't. Oh, and nowhere sells one here. That's just annoying. It feels like an oversight. Although I know that Cloud Imperium want to have a bit of diversity in stock and stuff, and some places won't have things. But I'd start a shop there. It just looks like someone would have filled a vacuum. It could even just be pistols. But I mean, I'd like to see some weapons there. It is annoying when missions won't progress or complete, but we've even been able to complete most of the bunker missions that we've tried out now, so typically missions will complete a lot more often. There's less barriers to entry to a load of missions, which is absolutely fantastic to see. However, when you find edge case bugs, or bugs that happen very rarely, but will happen to me or Zin, preventing us from doing something, that's really annoying. Like if your ship won't spawn, or you get locked in the ship spawn kiosk, or you just suddenly your life just is expunged for what appears to be no reason. Because when you're wanting to work as a team, as a couple of players doing stuff together, if one of you is bugged or has to restart or is set back, it sets both of you back, and they're waiting. But I suppose there's twice as amount of stuff that can go wrong now if there's two of you, and if there's an org that all want to do something together, well, then maybe there's 30 people that all things could go wrong with. It must be so complicated and hellish to set up things like the Daymar Rally. The game could really benefit from some organisation features, sort of more party features, the ability to share hangars and inventories that orgs have at stations and locations, able to sort of share ships as well. Oh, that would be so useful. Just having orgs have their tags that are visible under their name. Bam, I can see that you're in my org. I can see that you're a friendly because you're in my org. I can see that this is an enemy org. Oh, so useful. I think what it is that Star Citizen promises to be a fantastic game in the future. And at the moment, she's a harsh mistress. She sometimes will provide you with fantastic gameplay and beautiful sights and awesome footage. And sometimes it just does not want to help you, and it just goes, no, you know what? I hate you. I'm not going to let you do this. Pew, pew, pew. Now you've got to start again. And something that should have taken 15 minutes to get to and sort of start enjoying could take an hour or even 2 hours or something, because everything sort of explodes and breaks. That said, Star Citizen is in actually a pretty good state at the moment, and those sort of things happen a lot more rarely than they used to. I can play Star Citizen for dozens and dozens of hours now, sometimes without seeing a major problem. And there's some pretty good gameplay and pretty good fun to be had. With cargo missions, with mining, with a load of combat missions now. Some of the combat missions are absolutely fantastically good fun. There's some pretty solid mission chains. There's some solid FPS missions. There's some sort of like environmental exploration missions to find like black boxes and find bodies and things. And there are reasons to grind up in Star Citizen to get more gear or to buy spaceships. And pretty much all the spaceships that are available to use in-game are available to buy in-game. Normally they lag behind about 1 quarter after being released, but it's pretty good fun. And there's a load of loot to find as well. Sort of even subscriber loot and that sort of stuff is available to find in loot containers. And looting and trying to treasure hunt is pretty good fun too. Me and Zin are really looking forward to Alpha 3.18, but in the shorter term, them just running the Siege of Orison again, that sort of mostly FPS-styled mission that's had a load more tweaks in the latest 3.17.2 hotfix patch. That should be really good fun to play now, and I'm very much looking forward to that. In fact, it makes me not want to play a lot of the other gameplay in Star Citizen at the moment because I'm waiting on Siege of Orison. I'm sort of interested to know what problems you've had with Star Citizen in the short term, what you would really like to see fixed to the sort of current gameplay. What do you hate about Star Citizen? What do you love about Star Citizen at the moment? What missions and roles do you like to do? And if you like to use your eyes, please check out the Tobii Eye Tracker 5. It is natively supported in Star Citizen, and until the 12th of September, it's 20% off. You can use my links below to get that. It's very cool. Both me and Zin have one. Thanks for watching. I would really like to hear what you've got to say about Star Citizen at the moment, what you think. Obviously, we're approaching that free fly, which starts tomorrow at time recording, 8th of September. And do you think Star Citizen's ready for that free fly? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. I'm Nord Catch'em, and it's my mission to become a Nord Master. Oh no, it's Team Hacksaw. Hacksaw uses trackers and blocks your ability to go on websites like Netflix and watch the content that you want to on Netflix? ? Go NordyChew! NordyChew uses nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. It is super effective. He beats Team Hacksaws and he becomes a NordVPN master, a Nordymon master. Fortunately, with NordVPN, you don't need to catch them all. You just need to get a subscription from nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. Links below. Every month we have a ship giveaway, and for September, we're giving away 3 ships, 1 each, to 3 different lucky winners. The Origin 100I, the 125A, and the 135C. Any of these solid starter ships will allow you just to jump into Star Citizen and play right away. All you need to do is comment on any of my videos made during the month to be in for a chance of winning one of those. More details in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to further support the channel, consider using the join button under my videos or becoming a Patreon. Either way, you'll get access to some exclusive content and have more of a voice in shaping the channel. A huge thank you to anyone that already does that. You are amazing. I love you. Zin also is contractually obliged to love you. There is a link for donations and all that jazz in the description below as well if that is your preferred medium. It is super appreciated, genuinely. Once again, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.